Hello everyone! Today I'm gonna talk about the eras of Doctor Who. Um, I'm gonna go through all of the Doctor's eras and I'm just gonna talk about them. Okay, it's the classic eras and the new eras. I'm gonna go through all the Doctor Who eras. Okay, I'm gonna start with the first Doctor era. Um, okay, the first Doctor era is very sort of, it's kind of the beginning of Doctor Who, and there are some really good stories in there, and he's a good doctor, but yeah, a very interesting era, and it's the beginning. You know, the first Cyberman story, the first Regeneration story, the first Dalek story, the the first everything is in the Hartnell era. Not everything, but yeah. Um, but it's kind of the beginning. So it's a very interesting era, but it's different in some ways because when we get to the 80s, Doctor Who is sort of this the same story over and over. Not like that. I mean, the 80s is my favorite Doctor Who era. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it's very sort of. It's a bit like Big Finish. No, it's not like Big Finish, but it's sort of experimental, like some of the early Big Finish audios with sort of yeah. I like the Hartnell era. Okay, I'm gonna go over to the Troughton era. Yep, I'm gonna rate the Hartnell era first. I would rate the Hartnell era a 7.5 out of 10 because it's a really good era, but it's the beginning, and yeah, some of the stories aren't that great. Some of the stories, I mean, like the Web Planet, I don't like it, but I like it. I don't know. I mean, my opinions on the Web Planet keep changing. I've only watched the Web Planet twice, but it's a very sort of weird story. I mean, it drags a lot. It's very slow, but I like the plot is good, but the plot is bad. I can't. It's very weird. Yeah. So we get stories like that, and then we get stories like the 10th Planet, and the 10th Planet is awesome, or the Daleks' Master Plan. Yeah. Okay, let's go over to the Troughton era. Okay, the Troughton era is a bit sort of, we know what Doctor Who is now, but at the same time they're trying to find a replacement for the Daleks because the Daleks were supposed to die out in the Troughton era, and if you have watched Evil of the Daleks, you'll know how. But they came back in the Pertwee era. But I mean, I think the Troughton era is very sort of different from the Hartnell era in some ways, but it's still sort of, they want to try to sort of find some good enemies. I mean, the Troughton era is really good if you like Cybermen. I mean, the Cyberman is my favorite Doctor Who monster, so you know, uh, yeah, I like the Troughton era because it's sort of, yeah. I have two stories on my top 10 stories from the Troughton era: the Mind Robber and the War Games. I love those stories, but he's just a great Doctor, and I have watched every single Doctor Who story. So you know, I guess I should have the ultimate top 10 Doctor Who TV stories. But yeah, um, the Troughton are really good. I just think it's a bit sad that so many of his stories are missing. Of course, you can watch them on Recon. I've done that, but or listen to them on audio. But it's not the same. But yeah, the Troughton era, 8 out of 10. Okay, the next era is the Pertwee era, and I think this is where Doctor Who gets Doctor Who. It's the Pertwee era is the Doctor Who era in my opinion. It's Doctor Who. I think this era is the era that is Doctor Who. With I mean, the fourth Doctor era is also Doctor Who, but I think it's this, at this point Doctor Who starts to be Doctor Who in really Doctor Who. The third Doctor is a great Doctor. He has a lot of great stories like Green Death, Terror of the Autons, The Demons, Planet of the Spiders, Frontier in Space. Yeah, lots of good stories. And the Master, as played by Roger Delgado, is awesome. I love Roger Delgado's Master. He's the greatest Master of them all. Yeah, I would rate the Pertwee era a 10 out of 10. I think it's such a great era. Okay, let's go to the fourth Doctor's era. You know, the fourth Doctor's era is, you know, it's the longest era, so I would basically say it's kind of three eras inside his era. but I'm gonna try to sort of, he's the Doctor with most stories, and he's the most popular Doctor. I don't find him that great. I mean, he's a good Doctor, but he's not my favorite classic. I mean, I my favorite Doctor is probably Paul McGann, but I also really like John Pertwee. But I really like those. But those two, and I also really like Colin Baker. That's probably my three favorites. Followed by my first proper Doctor, the fifth Doctor, and then probably seventh. Then the second, I think, the first, and then the fourth, and then the ninth and 12th and 10th and 11th. I think, yeah. So I don't think he's the best Doctor, but I think he's a really good Doctor. I mean, I like all of the Doctors. Well, I don't like Matt Smith, but I like all the other Doctors. So yeah, he's, in his era, it's kind of a bit like this. Let's bring the Cybermen back in one story. Let's bring the Centurions back in two stories. It's a bit like that. They have a lot of Doctor Who villains, and they keep bringing them back, but not too much. I mean, it's kind of like this. In each season, he bring back monster from earlier. Not in each, but yeah, it's kind of a bit like that. Yeah. So I would rate his era 8.5 out of 10. The fifth Doctor era, it's kind of my first proper Doctor Who era. Before this, I had watched a bit of the new series, and I had watched a bit of Hartnell's stories, but he's sort of the Doctor that made me a Whovian. Yeah, he's my first proper Doctor, I guess, but my first Doctor is Christopher Eccleston, and the first story I ever watched was Rose, but I had watched a lot of, not a lot, but I'd watched a bit of the new series, and sort of I then went, oh, I want to watch some of the classic stuff, and I watched the Aztecs and Unearthly Child and the Daleks, I think, and then I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch another Doctor, and I watched his stories. His era is, there's a lot of good stories, and there's a lot of not great stories. I mean, I'm one of the only people that I actually enjoy Warriors of the Deep. I know I like Warriors of the Deep. I think it's great, and I would give it an 8 out of 10. I know you're all gonna hate me for this, but I really like Warriors of the Deep. He's a really good Doctor, and I love the Case of Androsani. I love the Five Doctors. I really like Mordrin Undead. Earthshock's pretty good. Resurrection of the Daleks is really good. And I don't like the Visitation too much. There's a lot of mixed stories. There's some fun stories like Black Orchid. There's some not great stories like the Visitation. There's some really good stories like the Five Doctors. So his era is very mixed. But I think because he's my Doctor, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I know it's probably because he's my Doctor. I mean, he's not my favorite Doctor, but he's the Doctor that got me into Doctor Who. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go through the most hated TV era, and it is the Colin Baker era. Yeah, his Big Finish audios. I really love his Big Finish audios, and I love his TV era. I know. I really love his TV era. There's only one bad story in there, and it is Timeless. But I mean, his era is just so great. I love his Big Finish era, and I love his TV era. I mean, The Two Doctors is my all-time favorite TV story. My all-time favorite Doctor Who story ever is Spare Parts, but yeah, this is my The Two Doctors is my all-time favorite TV story. I love it. Probably because I don't eat meat, and it's a bit sort of, this story made me vegetarian. I guess it could be, that could be a reason why I love the story so much. But I love the story. It's really good. Such a great story. Okay, the next era, I would rate the Sixth Doctor era a 10 out of 10. I know. Yeah, I know. The next era is the Seventh Doctor era. The era that stopped classic Doctor Who. Yeah, I think it's sad. I mean, how awesome would it be if the classic Who was still running today? How awesome would it be if we had like, I don't know, the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. Let's say the Paul McGann had been the Doctor, all the Doctors who have the Doctors had been the Doctors, but Doctor Who had been like in the classic eras. That would have been so amazing. But sadly, Doctor Who got cancelled in the 7th Doctor era. I love the 7th Doctor era. Many people says it's a bit like 50% of the stories are bad, 50 is good. I don't think so. I really love the Happiness Patrol. I mean, there's some great stories in there. I love Silver Nemesis. Yeah. I love Remembrance of the Daleks. I love The Curse of Fenric. Uh, I like Delta and the Bannerman. I like Dragonfire. I don't like Ghostlight. Ghostlight. I think Ghostlight is probably his only bad story. Survival is awesome. You know, Tom the Rani is kind of so bad it's good. I just think it's fun in a way. Yeah, the next Doctor is sorry. Paradise Towers is awesome. Delta Bannerman is good. Arthur is good. I think Remembrance is good. Yeah, I love his stories. His era is just great. The Brigadier one, which is called Battlefield, I really love it. I mean, all of his stories are great. The 8th Doctor, I can't go through his TV movie. Well, I can. Okay, I'm just gonna say my opinions on the TV movie. I find it underrated, but I don't find it great. I think I'm gonna give it a 6 point. No, I'm gonna give it a 7, I think. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I like it. But his Big Finish era. If you wanna know my full opinion on his Big Finish era, check out my discussion with TARDIS Guy 123. Link in the description. But I think he's awesome. I mean, no, I'm just gonna rate the 7th Doctor era. Sorry, I'm gonna rate the 7th Doctor era a 10 out of 10. Yeah, the 8th Doctor era. I haven't listened to too many of his non-monthly range audios, but I've listened to almost all of his monthly range audios. I think his monthly range audios is awesome. I love Charlotte Pollard. I love Caris. Well, I don't love Caris, but I think Caris is a great companion. The 8th Doctor is brilliant. Yeah, I mean, great. Yeah, great era. Minuit in Hell is so good. I love Minuit in Hell. Yeah, I know. But yeah, 10 out of 10. His era is 10 out of 10. Okay, I'm gonna go to the new series stuff now. So it's the Christopher Eccleston era, the Tennant era, the Matt Smith era, and the Capaldi era. Okay, let's start with the Eccleston era. Yeah, this era is a bit weird. I don't think it's that great. There's some good stuff. I like Dalek, but I think it's inspired by Jubilee. Jubilee is a good audio, but yeah. Like Father's Day, I like his last story, Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways. But Rose is alright. I mean, but it's not the greatest era ever. I would give it a 7 out of 10, I think. Okay, for the Tennant era. Okay, I'm gonna start with series 2. His first series. I hate it. There's only one good story in there. School reunion. And it's only good because Sarah Jane is in it. And I like the Sarah Jane Adventures. I don't think it's amazing, but I mean, I like the Trickster. But yeah. I think but his next series, series 3, I think Martha Jones is pretty good, but yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, Martha Jones is pretty good. And he's done a Noble era. Alright, I mean, it's the Return of Davros. Yeah. I would rate his era 6 out of 10. The Matt Smith era, 0 out of 10. I hate it. It's absolutely rubbish. Hated the two. I mean, there's only 2 stories I think is that I only really like. There's only 2 stories in there I really like, and it is the God Complex, and I like The Day of the Doctor, but it's only like I would rate the God Complex at 8 out of 10 and The Day of the Doctor at 7, so I don't like the Matt Smith era. I rate it a 0 out of 10. I hate it. It's absolutely rubbish. The Capaldi era, awesome. just a pity Kill the Moon is not canon. Well, it's not a pity because Kill the Moon is awful, it's not canon, okay? Trust me on this, Kill the Moon is not canon. If you want me to make a video about why I don't think Kill the Moon is canon, then please tell me in the description below. Kill the Moon, not canon. The rest of the stories, hate the Forest of the Night. Deep Breath is alright. Flatline's good. Dark Water, Death in Heaven is awesome. Yeah. I can't rate his era because, you know, his era is not finished yet. But I think so far it's 7 out of 10. So I prefer Classic Who over New Who. I really like Classic Who. I'm not a big fan of New Who. I like New Who, you know, yeah. And I'm quickly gonna go through the New Who spin-offs, Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. I like the Sarah Jane Adventures, and I like Torchwood. I think Children of Earth is awesome, and I like Miracle Day, and I think from the Sarah Jane Adventures, I like The Trickster. You know, I think both spin-offs are good, but not awesome. I love the classic series. I like the new series-ish. And I like the spin-offs. Bye everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video.